Hi listeners, it's Mark here with our 5th My Rugby League Story, and this is one that literally some of you will have been waiting for. It's our reigning Listener of the Year, Tom Andrews. In the last 2 seasons or so, Tom, along with his partner Paige, have become big parts of the furniture on SLP. Tom sent us an email with his story of his Hull KR fandom and his intention to steal his firstborn's allegiances in a split Hull household. So here's Tom's story. Hi all, Tom Triple Champ Andrews here. You all have probably heard my name on here, and 25% of you are very fond of me. So I thought I'd have a go at explaining where my love for rugby league came from. I'm good at writing short, angry news reviews and match reviews, but I'm not usually good at the longer stuff, so bear with me. To say I was born into it would be an understatement. The support of Hull KR in my family goes back 101 years to my great uncle Wally, who supported Hull KR from the age of 6 until he passed away aged 102. The year I was born, 1991, my dad was the pitch announcer at Craven Park and used to take me on the pitch on match days. Through my younger years we didn't go to the rugby much as we couldn't afford it, and Rovers were very poor in the late 90s and early noughties, so we found it hard to justify the cost. I was actually more of a football fan in my school days, following what most popular kids do, and supported Manchester United. Some of the earliest games I remember going to was 2006 and watching Rovers blow teams away in the Championship on their way to Super League. I vividly remember coming home on the day Rovers beat Warrington in the Cup that year and seeing my dad jump around the room with excitement. I think it really sold it to me. The same year I went to my first away game. It was the promotion game against Widnes. As history showed, Hull KR dominated that game and returned to Super League. The atmosphere was electric. There were strangers hugging me, there were pints flying. I put this game down to be the moment I decided I'm going to have this as my main sport and absorb it as much as possible. The first year in Super League, Rovers sold out of season passes, so we just had to grab tickets when and where we could. Sadly, this didn't include the first game against Wakefield. Missing some of our most historic games is a theme with myself. Even more annoying, there was a power cut in Hornsey where I lived at the time, so we missed 75 minutes of the game. The TV only coming back to life to see Ben Cockayne dive in to seal our first win in Super League. I think it was the second season in Super League we finally got season passes. Unfortunately, they were for the golf stand, and we watched games from there, including the famous All-Weathers Easter Derby, where we were sat right where James Webster's winning drop goal landed. Ever since that game, we have been season pass holders for the East Stand, and I have probably missed only 5 or 6 home games since. As I got older, around the legal drinking age, we started going to more away games and rugby league events. The Grand Final 12 times, the Challenge Cup Final 11 times. Magic Weekend is by far my favourite, and I've been to every venue it's been held. I said earlier I have a habit of missing big games. Yes, I wasn't at the Go On Hodgson Magic Weekend as my dad was on holiday. I was at home watching with a group of my non-rugby loving friends who were quoted as saying, "You went from the saddest to the happiest man in the world," and I'm sure as soon as that ginger bloke started running, you got possessed by some sort of demon. No regrets, I also missed the Challenge Cup semi-final because a week or so before, I snapped my ACL off playing my other love at basketball. I made it to the final on crutches. If only getting stuck in the turnstile would have been the worst thing that happened that day. As many of you will know, I'm engaged to a black and white. The first message she ever sent me was, "Ooh, you're a Rovers fan. Love at first sight indeed." Our first date was the 17th of April 2014, a famous day. Not because it was the start of SLP rugby power couple, but because that beautiful man Craig Hall kicked a one-pointer to send them black and white bastards home sulking. A wonderful day indeed. Mark and maybe a few others wanted to know what will happen when our son Blake being born into a mixed team household, and I'm pleased to exclusively announce here that he will be continuing the Andrews family tradition of red and white supporters going. This has nothing to do with the fact of us having a little girl in the coming months and Paige sort of agreeing that she will follow her. And definitely no bribery of Blake was involved. He says he wants to go with Daddy because there's sweets at Daddy's team's ground, and I don't know where he gets it from. So that's a brief history of me and rugby. Let's hope we can all get back into the grounds moaning the other team are offside and having a few beers again soon. I'll still be on SLP in 2021, looking to defend my crowns. Thanks for voting for me in that, by the way. Cheers. Thanks to Tom for sharing his story with us. Surprisingly few digs at Hull FC there, and it seems like they've found an amicable solution to the split affinities in the Tom and Paige house. Until the third child comes along, though. Maybe that one will just get to be into basketball and not rugby league or something like that. If you want to share your rugby league story with us like Tom, then please get in touch, superleaguepod@gmail.com. If, like Tom, you want to write it down for us to read out, that's great. Or, like David, in the third instalment of My Rugby League Story, you want to record it yourself, we'd love for you to do that too. Same applies, just send it to us by email. Also, if you want to do it as a conversation with us, we've got one of them lined up soon, that works too. We'll just need to set up a time and organise a Skype call or something else that we can make it work on. But yeah, do get in touch, superleaguepod@gmail.com if you're interested. Until you hear from us again, please stay safe, look after yourselves and your loved ones, so that we'll all get to hear Tom's views on the week's news in the near future. Cheers everyone. Ta-ra.